let's talk about learning how to make a cake. And we're going to go over 3 cakes. We're going to go over yellow cake, we're going to go over chocolate cake, and carrot cake, and how to go through each one. Now, each one has a different process, but we're going to talk about this yellow cake, for instance, right here. Always, first thing when it comes to yellow cake is you want to mix your butter and your sugar. Okay, that's the first thing when it comes to yellow cake. And you want to beat the butter and sugar until it comes to a nice creamy texture, and it's frothy, it's fluffy, and it's perfect. And then you'd add your eggs. In this case, for a yellow cake or a vanilla cake, you'd add egg yolk, not just eggs, egg whites, and egg yolk. You know, you separate the eggs and you add the egg yolk. The reason why you separate the egg yolk from the whites is so you have the color, say for yellow cake, you have natural yellow coming through the cake. And instead of using a yellow coloring, you have the color of the yolk coming through. Also, egg whites tend to make the cake a little too frothy, and you don't want that to happen. Also, with the yellow cake, once you mix the egg yolk in with the sugars, you are going to then scrape the bowl down each and every time you add an egg, add 2 egg yolks, you scrape the bowl down. That way you get even consistency of the cake batter itself. Once you get that incorporated, then you're going to add some vanilla to the cake. Then after you add that, you're going to start mixing in the flour mixture, which consists of flour, baking soda, and salt. Once that's added in, then you're going to add in the milk in steps. You're going to do one scoop of flour, then you're going to stop, and you're going to add your milk, then you're going to add your flour, then your milk in 3 steps. Okay? Once that's done, you take it out, scrape the bowl, then put it back in, mix it one more time, but not overmix your cake. You never overmix cakes. Once you overmix a cake, it's going to be flat. You want to have some texture to your cake. Don't overmix. Okay? And then when you do that, then you evenly distribute the cake batter into the cake pans, and then we put it in the oven. Okay, now chocolate cake. Almost the same process as the vanilla, but different. We're going to add the cocoa to this mix. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the butter and the sugar, and you're going to mix it till it's frothy as well. Once that's done, you're going to add the whole egg. You're going to add 4 eggs to the mix. Once you add those the flour in that, you're going to have buttermilk, and you're going to have your flour mixture, which consists of flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt, and cocoa, all mixed in together. I also add a little pudding mix to the mix. So now we're going to add the mixture, the flour mixture, to the egg mixture, into the liquid mixture. Same thing, 3 steps. You add that, you add the buttermilk, you add the flour, you add buttermilk, and make until it's incorporated. Scrape the bowls down, then do it again. Once again, not overmix, just to the point of the absorption of the flour. Then take it out, scoop it into pans, and then you're going to bake it. Okay? Now, carrot cake. This is a totally different process. It's not. There's no butter in a carrot cake. It's more of a oil than any other thing. And I prefer using oil than, say, Crisco or hydrogenated oil. You want to basically start with your eggs and your sugar in a mixing bowl. You're going to add that together, and then you're going to mix it until it comes to basically a nice texture. It's going to come out creamy, and you're going to, at that point, add your oil. Now your oil, you add slow streaming oil, and basically what this causes is an emulsion with the egg and the oil. And it's going to come out a little bit thicker, which is good. You want it to have a nice consistency, and you're going to mix that for a couple minutes. Get that going, and then after say your shredded carrots and your raisins have been sitting in a brown sugar mixture for a half an hour, you're going to then take that mixture and your pineapple and put it inside the bowl, mix it together, then add your flour. Once your flour is absorbed, you're going to then pull it out individually into each bowl, and then you're going to bake that as well. And that's pretty much that. You also, when it comes to cakes, you always want to make sure that you spray your pans first and put liner in the pan. That way the cake, when you turn it over, it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan and it pulls away and you get a half a cake out of the pan. You want the whole cake to come out. So it's very important that you spray the pan and then put a liner in the pan before you put the cake batter inside. Very important. When you're mixing your levels of ingredients in the bowl, you make sure that in each and every measurement you take an accurate measure by scraping the top of the bowl with a knife. Some cups come with a provided little scraper you can use, but you can also use what you have. Say like the lid of your baking powder, your baking soda. You can use that to scrape and make sure your spoons are equal or even. You can also use a spatula, a metal spatula. A metal spatula is very handy. Everyone has one. You just scrape it and then you can pop it in as well. There's all different types of icings. There's all different types of fillings. Icings, it can go from buttercream, it can go to fudge icing, you can go into cream cheese icing. You can also use your fillings. You have raspberry, you have strawberry, you have chocolate, you have, you name it, lemon, whatever. There's so many different fillings.